Welcome and thank you for tuning in to the Shining Scholar Education Podcast, where we talk about secondary English and language arts tips, strategies, and resources. We'll also share the ups and downs in the wonderful world of teaching. I'm your host, Charlie, and I'm a teacher creator here with Shining Scholar Education. We hope you enjoy the show. Hello again, my friends. I wanted to make an episode to share who we are as a company, Shining Scholar Education, and what we're all about and why we got started in the first place. So it starts off way back in 2008 when I was a frustrated English teacher for middle school, and the frustration came from seeing that my students were really trying, but when it came to standardized testing like benchmarks and the end of the year exams, they weren't doing so great. And I found that the disconnect came from the classroom materials and the curriculum that we used, and that they weren't lined up to what they were seeing on these standardized tests. I realized that the vocabulary they would see on the questions, for example, analyze, blah, 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 they would get thrown off by analyze or complete this analogy. And either they weren't that great with analogies or they had never seen it structured that way. That, along with rehearsing and practicing and reinforcing the test-taking strategies, really went a long way. So one day I decided, let me make something custom for my kids. So I picked an engaging reading selection and I made some reading comprehension questions based on the standardized tests that we had taken. So I studied the structure, the method of writing them, the format, the wording. I used keywords like analyze or interpret or what's implied. Lots of different things that I've noticed were throwing them off. In fact, I doubled up on that number of questions. So by the time it came to the standardized tests, the students were doing way better than before. And it was great making the materials, but the really exciting part came from seeing them be successful. Because I know their sense of self-efficacy had been affected by the bad grades they were getting on these tests. It wasn't that they didn't know the material. It was in the way they were being taught versus the way they were being tested. Now, I'm not preaching teaching to the test. No. What I'm saying is teach like the test. We can, as teachers, teach them one way and then test them another way and expect that huge gap sometimes to be connected. So little by little, I started collecting more and more material that I was making. It takes a while to really structure and make sure that you cover all the grounds and all the different types of questions. And I was sharing them with whichever teachers were interested in using the materials. And little by little, my stash of material started growing. And one teacher one day mentioned something about teachers pay teachers. Oh, you should put your stuff out there. So I uploaded one resource, and it was for free, of course, and I got a few hundred downloads that month. And what really got me excited was the comments, the feedback from the teacher saying, this really helped me and my students out. Or, I had to be out unexpectedly, and I left a sub with a copy of your test and the reading selections. That made my day, knowing that the time I had invested was paying off and helping other teachers and students. And yes, we all know teachers don't get paid a whole lot, so the extra income does benefit us and our families. The way I look at it is not to speak ill of any companies, but the really big publishing companies like the educational ones, the really big giants, I don't think they have a whole lot of teachers that are active teachers working for them. And I think that's what makes us special, the sense that we have current active teachers making these materials. So we do all the work so you don't have to. But you and your students get the benefits of these materials. We make sure that they're aligned to the standards so you can bring the highest quality to your classroom. And if you see our Teachers Pay Teachers store, it's located at teacherspayteachers.com/store/shining-scholar-education. And you can see we have some other materials like social studies, math, science, and history. And that's because along the years, some of the teachers we've had have taught these different subjects. So we put up some materials for those. But now we really specialize in secondary reading and writing materials. We wanted to pick one area and really become experts in that. We make sure that our products are editable for the teachers to put in their own creativity and style for their classroom while still maintaining the integrity of the original product. All of them come with answer keys, of course, and we also include links that we think might be helpful for you out in the field when you're actually teaching them. If we had used them in our classroom, we make sure to put it there as a resource. All of them have been tried and tested in the field, and we've made modifications and suggestions to help you while you're using these resources. I hope our passion for teaching and education is evident in this episode. We really do take pride in the fact that we're making resources for teachers by teachers. If our time invested can save you time and energy, then we're happy. And if you do find value in our resources, please leave a review and some feedback. It really does help us with our store. We hope you found value in this podcast episode as well as in our materials. We look forward to keep working with you. And again, we are teachers. You are teachers. We're all working together as one, especially in this hard time. Thank you again for all you do, teachers, because we as teachers are also doing a lot of the same. We appreciate you. This is your host, Charlie, signing off. Make it a great day, teachers. Thank you again for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, share, and consider leaving a review. It really does help. We make resources for teachers by teachers. Check us out at shiningscholareducation.com and at our Teachers Pay Teachers store as well. We'd love to hear from you, so email us at shiningscholareducation@gmail.com to share any questions or topics you'd like on the show. Thank you for all you do, teachers, and keep changing the world.